Hello everyone, welcome to this new Unreal Engine video. In this video, I will explain everything about the Unreal Engine editor, including all the menus, panels and controls. This video will help you understand how to navigate the editor and use its features properly. I will go step by step explaining every button, every option and how everything works. First of all, open the Unreal Engine. Right click and open the Unreal Engine. Okay, click on the recent projects and click on the shooter project. I have already created this project in my previous video, and if you didn't watch my previous video, I highly recommend to watch all my previous videos and click on the shooter project and open this project. Okay, when you open the Unreal Engine for the first time, the first and most important part of the Unreal Engine is the viewport. This is the main window where you can see your game world and interact with it. Everything you place in your game will appear here and you can move around to see your scene from different angles. Before we talk about these tools, let's first learn how to move around in the viewport. First of all, how to move the camera. Hold the right mouse button and use WASD keys to move forward, left, backward and right, okay? And the second one is hold the left mouse button and move your mouse to rotate the camera just like this. Okay. And the third one is hold the middle mouse button and move your mouse to pan the camera up, down and left or right. And the last one is roll the mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out just like this. If the camera moves too fast or too slow, you can adjust the speed at the top right of the viewport and you will see a small number like 1, 2, 3 or 4, and click on it and change the camera speed to move faster or slower. And if I change the speed from 1 to 0.1, and if I move the camera, hold the right mouse button and use WASD, you can see my camera speed is very low, and you can change the camera speed from this camera icon. Okay, I will use mostly the default value, which is 1, and now my camera is moving at normal speed. And the next tool is the transform tool, and in the middle of the toolbar you will see three different icons, and the first one is the move tool, and the second one is the rotate tool, and third one is the scale tool. Press W to activate the move tool, which lets you move objects in the scene, and if I press the E key to activate the rotate tool, which allows you to rotate the object. Press R to activate the scale tool, which lets you resize the object, and I will show in my upcoming videos. And the next icon is about the spaces. Okay, there are two spaces in the Unreal Engine. The first one is the world space and the second one is the local space. If I talk about the world space means the object moves according to the global coordinate system, and if I talk about the local space means the object moves according to its own rotation. And if you rotate an object and switch to the local space, the movement axis will rotate with the object. Let me show you how to perform these actions. First, create the object. For example, click on the plus icon, go to the shape and click on the Q button. Okay, and as you can see, this is the gizmos at the bottom left corner. Red is the x-axis and green is the y-axis and blue is the z-axis. Okay, this is the world space means I can move the object according to the global coordinate system. As you can see, my object is moving according to the global coordinate system. And if I change from world space to the local space, if I press the E key to activate the rotate tool and rotate the object, for example minus 30 degree. Okay, and if I press the W key to activate the move tool, and as you can see my gizmo has been changed. If I click the local coordinates to the world coordinates, my gizmo just look like this. If I click from world space to the local space, my gizmo look like this. If I move this object on the x-axis, my object is rotating like this. Okay, this is the difference between world space and the local space. And the next set of icons is for snapping. This helps is placing object precisely. For example, this is the grid snapping. Grid snapping basically ensures objects move in fixed increment instead of freely. For example, by default is selected as the 10 centimeter unit. If I increase the 50 centimeter unit, the grid size is the 50 centimeter. For example, I want to switch from the local space into the world space, and if I move the object in x-axis, my cube is moving at 50 centimeters. If I disable the grid snapping, then I can move my object freely. As you can see, my object is moving freely. And the next one is the rotation snapping. Rotation snapping basically makes object rotate in fixed angle. For example, this is the 10 degree by default, and if I want to rotate 45 degree and select the rotation tool, as you can see my cube is rotating 45 degree. That is the benefit of the grid snapping. And the next one is the scale snapping. Scale snapping basically keeps object scaling in specific steps. At the top right of the viewport, we have the play button. Clicking this starts the game in the editors so you can test how it works. For example, I click the play button. As you can see, my mouse cursor is showing in the viewport, and if I click the left mouse button, as you can see, I can rotate around the world, and I can also move around the world just using the WAS and D key. Okay, if I exit the game in the editor, you can press the escape button. On the right side we have the world outliner, and this is just like a list of all the objects in your level, and if you have many objects in your scene, this panel helps you find and organize them easily. For example, if I want to select the directional light, and my directional light has been selected, and if I press the F key, F means focus on that object. Okay, and for example, if I select the different objects, like if I want to select the different landscape areas like this, and if I press the F key and to focus on that area. Okay, that is the benefit of the outliner. And the next panel is the detail panel. This panel is used to change the properties of any selected object. If you select an object, for example, I select the cube and press the F key, and all its setting will appear here. You can adjust its location, rotation, and scale, and also you can change the materials of that object. Okay, and I will explain each and everything in my upcoming videos. Okay, so don't worry. And the next one is the content browser. Click on the content drawer, and click on the dock and layout, and as you can see, this is the content browser. Basically, this is where all the assets of your projects are stored. Assets include like 3D models, textures, materials, sounds, and more. You can create even folders to keep everything organized. That's everything you need to know about the Unreal Engine editor. We covered the viewport, world outliner, detail panel, and content browser. You have a complete understanding of how to navigate the editor and use its features. In the next video, we will start working on an actual project. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.